Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I, as always, am Grestar, and this is another reaction to a death battle, Yoda versus King Mickey. So of course, make sure to click on the link in the description below to go to the official release first. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Watch that there, then come back here and we'll watch it together. So yes, Yoda versus King Mickey. And I'm specifying King Mickey because it's not just any old Mickey Mouse, it's the Mickey Mouse from Kingdom Hearts. So I don't have a ton of knowledge about Kingdom Hearts. Here's my story with Kingdom Hearts. After I finished 10th grade, so before 11th grade, like the summer between them, you know, we moved to a different state. But I still liked a girl from Utah, you know? And so we were trying to keep in touch and whatnot. And when I got out to California, where we moved to, I went to a game store, I think just GameStop, and I bought a used PS2, Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories, and Kingdom Hearts 2. And so, like, that's what I was doing that summer, you know, was, like, playing those games. I've beaten all the first one, I've beaten all of Chain of Memories, and then I beat, like, half of Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh, I should probably specify, like, the point of that was that the girl I liked Kingdom Hearts, so that's why I bought that. Otherwise, that bit of information would have just been random. But yeah, and so, I played, like, half, maybe not even half of Kingdom Hearts 2, and then I stopped because I was getting frustrated. But yeah, haven't played a ton, haven't looked into any of the other games like 358 over 2 days or whatever it is, where there's like Coded or I'm sure a bunch of other Kingdom Hearts games, right? Nor have I looked into any lore outside of the games, if such exists. And beyond that, I do know that it's just a very weird story, like just very like convoluted and everything. So I've never super well followed it. So I really don't know what King Mickey is capable of. That being said, I don't really know what Yoda's capable of either. I think of him as a powerful Jedi, you know, like really powerful with the Force. But, you know, to what extent powerful means, like, I don't know. I wouldn't even feel comfortable saying I know what Yoda's capable of in the movies, and I imagine that he is more capable outside of them because that's just how these things work, you know? I mean, it's like with Obi-Wan, you know, his most powerful feats didn't come from the movies, no. They came from, like, the comics or, you know, the animated series or things like that. So, I want Yoda to win because I like him better, and, you know, I do think he's capable, but I don't know what Mickey, or King Mickey specifically, is capable of himself. We're gonna have to wait and see. So, with that, let's get to watching. Here we go, everyone. Death battle, Yoda and
the legendary Jedi Master of
King
Star
Mickey.
Wars fame.
And King Mickey,
They seem to jump in quickly this time.
Disney Castle from Kingdom Hearts.
These two have proven time and time again that size matters not.
But let's see which of these tiny titans can swing their way to victory in a one-on-one duel. He's Wiz and
like, I don't remember seeing Mickey much at all in the Kingdom Hearts games that I played. Like, he would just kind of show up randomly in cutscenes, it seemed, and that was it. Also, yeah, 10 years of death battle, like, at this point. Now it's longer, but yeah.
A Jedi there was. Master he is. Yoda his name.
You're not gonna keep doing that, are you?
Tell me what to do. You cannot.
Okay, the mysterious Grand Master Yoda
Always,
devoted
as
his
always.
life to the ways of the Force and to leading the Jedi Order,
Of course.
a group of noble peacekeepers. They took it upon themselves to maintain a state of tranquility in the galaxy.
Don't be fooled by all that talk of peace, though. They're like superhuman samurai. Jedi consistently take on hordes of baddies by themselves.
Right.
And they've been doing it for centuries, way before the start of the Galactic Republic.
At which point, the Jedi became much more entangled in, let's just say, government affairs.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. That's what the space wizards were missing. Politics.
The Jedi Council began weighing in on various matters to both protect democracy and avoid violent conflicts.
Except they kinda screwed the porg on that front. The Clone Wars wasn't just a
Poor little
fantastic
porg.
series by George Lucas and Dave Filoni. It was also an awesome miniseries by Genndy Tartakovsky.
And it was a horrific war that wiped out the Jedi, erased the Republic, and saw the rise of the Empire.
Yeah.
Sure, that too. Spoilers, man.
As the Jedi Grand Master, Yoda led the Grand Army of the Republic, a military force almost entirely comprised of clones.
Yeah, I never really watched
aka
any of the animated
disposable
ones.
people.
You know,
Man,
just
that
the
gets really messed
movies.
up if you think about it too long. So I won't.
Despite his small, frail appearance, Yoda could absolutely hold his own in combat. In fact, he's considered one of the most powerful Jedi of his era.
He's trained all the greats like Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and even Liam Neeson. Where do you think he got that particular set of skills from?
All of Yoda's 900 years of experience certainly came in handy, like when he battled Count Dooku and Darth Sidious,
Yep.
two of the most powerful Sith Lords ever known.
It's funny because
Jedi
Yoda will
and
hobble
Sith
around
usually
and then the
come with
fight
the
starts and he's
standard
flipping
lightsaber,
everywhere.
A badass weapon for a more badass age. They're pretty versatile too, with 7 different forms of combat styles. And don't think Yoda's gonna miss out on all that laser sword swinging. He's mastered all 7 styles, even though he's only 2 feet high.
Good for him.
Hell, most lightsabers are taller than he is.
Which is why he specializes in the 4th form, Ataru. This style focuses on utilizing the Force to increase a Jedi's capabilities, allowing them to attack at blurring speeds with incredible precision.
Basically, he can flip-flop around like a ninja frog. Wait, is he actually Kermit?
This does still mean Yoda has a sort of handicap in physical combat, as his stature requires him to use the Force far more than most opponents just to keep up.
Okay.
While the Force is beyond the body and seemingly infinite, too much effort all at once can put a strain on a person and even kill them. However, Yoda is truly a master of the Force, potentially more so than any other Jedi. He has moved
saying
starships
a
with
lot.
his mind and lifted hundreds of droids at once.
He can also use mind tricks, illusions, and a technique called Tuna Minus. That's when Jedi block or catch and redirect energy, like lightning, blaster bolts, or even other lightsabers.
No,
It's safe
yeah, I
to
didn't
say
know
that
it had a
Yoda
name like that.
greatly prefers using the Force in combat over his Jedi weapon.
Wiz, if I ever get one of those laser swords and toss it away, you totally have permission to kill me.
Interesting. Dummy, just let me see your hand.
My hand? Ow.
Okay, now place your finger there.
No? Jeez, Marshall would never make me do something like this.
Marshall? Who's
What?
Marshall?
Huh? Oh, the DBX Ringmaster guy. That's his real name.
Oh.
We were roommates in college. He's helping me track down my dad because he's my best bud.
Oh, best bud, huh?
Oh no.
What the hell was that?
Finally, I won't be the only one.
Wait, what just happened?
Anyway,
Wiz, what about the whole
Force is
best bud
capable of
thing?
Much more than a lightsaber. Kip Duron, a Jedi whose potential has been compared to Yoda, utilized it to move a gravity well-generated void, basically a black hole created by a ship,
Yeah,
to strike
okay.
the right balance of pressure in order to move a singularity. Theoretically, you would need to exert an energy output equivalent to almost 14 petatons of TNT.
Wow, okay.
Jedi are also super fast. They have blocked
14
blaster bolts, of
petatons.
course, but they can also keep up with droid tri-fighters and Magna Guards, which both are clearly stated to have near light speed reflexes.
Oh.
Holy crap, who's building these things?
Furthermore, Jedi can use the Force to glimpse into the distant future through meditation. They can even allow the Force to guide their movements and predict danger in advance. Needless to say, all of these incredible feats would
That
be
was such a
impossible
cool scene in the game.
without the Force.
But with powers like that and a dash of political meddling, it was only a matter of time before these peacekeepers became soldiers. Even generals.
In a surprising move, Yoda actually chose to engage the rising separatist threat with an army of his own, personally kicking off the Clone Wars himself.
Too bad it was, as the fishman says, a trap.
Oh
The
no.
war took a sour turn, and the demise of the Jedi became all but assured. By the time they put the pieces together, it was too late. The Order fell into
Poor
darkness.
sad
Or
Yoda.
like brutally murdered into darkness. And you know, it's kind of their fault in a way. They were so committed to talking about peace, but at the same time, they're like really, really good at killing people.
Why do peacekeepers need to be so specifically trained in murder? So uncivilized.
Wiz, get over yourself. If you had a lightsaber, you'd want to use it as much as you could too.
Though the Jedi
I
Order
yeah,
under Yoda
imagine.
did seem somewhat hypocritical, he would come to realize his follies, like the Council's sanctimonious excuses for betraying students like Ahsoka when they were needed most.
They ripped out our sweet Padawan rat tail, you assholes! But yeah, he finally figured out wars not make one great. Especially if you're a tiny green muppet.
Haunted by his mistakes and perturbed by the violence he helped bring upon the galaxy, Yoda went into self-imposed
Yoda.
exile. He even gave up his lightsaber. And finally, he would train one last apprentice, Luke Skywalker.
Yoda taught Luke everything he could before finally becoming one with the Force.
was not a lot of
gaining
time for him to do
immortality
that.
As a spooky blue spirit, just like Obi-Wan and Liam Neeson.
And Luke, he went on to reverse many of the mistakes of Jedi's past, ending the Empire, redeeming his father, bringing balance to the Force, and inspiring a new, different generation. In the end, Yoda's greatest lesson of all was that oftentimes failure is our greatest teacher.
I don't believe
Yeah.
it. That is why you fail.
Okay. Time for King Mickey. Let's see what he's about.
Mickey Mouse, Disney's OG OC. You know him as a cute corporate mascot
Right, of
that
course,
hangs
yeah.
out with other cute animals and lives a pretty normal domestic life. But did you know he's also an insanely powerful warrior mage that fights darkness to save the Disney universe alongside a young boy and his good old duck and dog buddies?
Not that dog.
Not that dog, the other one.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome to the world of Kingdom Hearts.
That's right.
A collection of worlds where Kingdom Hearts is the heart of the worlds and the source of ultimate wisdom and power across all kingdoms and worlds.
You know, my favorite thing about
Thank you.
Kingdom Hearts is how straightforward it is.
Right?
My favorite part is how it's ruled by that 92-year-old mouse wizard.
Yep. Here he isn't just Mickey, he's King Mickey,
Yeah.
the ruler of Disney Castle and the leader of the Guardians
So I'm
of
assuming
Light,
they're only
a
gonna
group of
pull feats
Keyblade
from
wielders who combat darkness.
Kingdom Hearts.
King Mickey and the other guardians, like Sora, remember him, protect the worlds using magic and powerful weapons known as Keyblades.
Those things are the real deal. They can perform a whole bunch of spells.
I also didn't know his name was Michael Theodore
Mouse.
Mouse.
Anything. Get it? Because they're keys. Mickey swung a lot of keys around, but his current and best is his star cluster.
The king underwent rigorous training as an apprentice to the great sorcerer Yen Sid. After
Which
some
Disney, yeah.
incidents involving a few too many brooms, he eventually became a sorcerer and Keyblade master himself.
Keyblades are basically like wands that can channel the user's magic for spells like Pearl, Mind Shield, and Faith Volley, which are all based on light energy magic.
He can also
Okay.
heal himself and others with Curaga and Healing Light. And that's honestly still just the tip of the iceberg.
With the Stopsa spell, he can freeze time for the length of an entire battle. Damn!
Then there's Mickey's most powerful and most legendary spell, Ultima, which is
Ultima.
basically a massive, devastating release of all of Mickey's light magic at once.
The only downside is these spells do require a lot of magic energy to use, which is also limited to Mickey's own energy.
Right,
also,
as opposed
he
to the
does
Force.
need the Keyblade to channel it. There's not much the mouse can do without his Keyblade, except for be a cute and cuddly mascot.
Well, even if he does lose it, Mickey can immediately summon the Keyblade back to his hand.
Oh,
Whoa!
okay.
Let me try.
You don't... Do you have a
Boomstick,
Keyblade?
if you really want another beer, just go get one. Oh my god, it works!
No, it was just me.
Thank you, dummy.
Well, Keyblades can also be used to lock worlds and doors in order to keep out Heartless, which are corrupted beings split from the darkness of a person's heart with a desire to consume.
Wait a second, Wiz. Pluto is a dog, but so is Goofy. But Goofy gets to walk around and fight with Sora and Donald, and Pluto just eats and sleeps like a normal dog.
Oh.
This must mean that Pluto is Goofy's Heartless.
Do you have a concussion?
Oh, always. On top of all of his advanced magic, Mickey's mega tough. When Heartless stack up, they can form a huge mass and take the shape of a giant twister called a Demon Tower. And Mickey's
Okay.
tanked a couple beatings from him.
He's also survived this huge explosion from when the Keyblade was destroyed.
Give me numbers.
Yeah,
What kinds of forces are we
the
dealing with?
X-Blade. It's just pronounced like Keyblade, even though it's just one Keyblade.
Ah, because...
It-
okay,
God,
yeah.
The series is so confusing.
Most Keyblades are capable of equally incredible feats. Sora could slice through several buildings with his Keyblade, and Mickey's rescued him on more than one occasion. Which makes sense, he's the leader after all, and can match any of them in power.
But Sora's no joke. He went up against Hercules, a demigod that launched a 1,600-ton rock titan into space.
Yeah.
That's nothing compared to his dad, Zeus. That guy can move stars, and not even he can compete with the foes that Mickey's tangling with.
The Guardians
Really?
of Light and their Keyblades are immensely strong, but they also have great speed to match. Roxas's heart was able to move far above the speed of light in order to travel across galaxies, from the Radiant Garden back to the Keyblade Graveyard in a matter of seconds.
What?
And like
What?
any great ruler,
That was his
Mickey's also
heart,
remained a
not
constant
him?
pillar of hope for all.
Are we saying Mickey
even
can do
during
that?
some of the darkest times.
And with the help of his friends, the king was able to bring the darkness to an end and stop Xehanort, a Keyblade master hell-bent on getting the power of Kingdom Hearts.
While Sora battled Xehanort, Mickey and the rest of the Guardians finally closed Kingdom Hearts for good, preventing the power from falling into the wrong hands.
Okay.
That mouse had it all figured out. The real key to saving the world is your friends. If each one of them also has a super powerful magic sword, that's also a key.
Despite his long journey, King Mickey never wavered and led the way with his optimism, perseverance, and most important of all, the light inside.
Now, Sora, let's close this door for good. Don't worry. There will always be a door to the light.
I feel like there are a lot of assumptions involved in this
combatants
one,
are
but
set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
yeah.
It's time
For a death battle! Pause. Okay, so like I said, I feel like there are a lot of assumptions here because they gave very little for Mickey. So one assumption right off the bat is just based upon how the death battle format tends to work. And sometimes if, like, you know, one character is given numbers and the other character is not given numbers, the one that's given numbers is less likely to win because the numbers were given so that you would be more in favor of voting for them, so that it'd be more surprising when the other person won. Like, and so we got like 14 petatons, you know, like on Yoda's side for like the force that he was able to, well, I guess move with the force, presumably. It was about that singularity part. The guy who was compared to Yoda, who moved a black hole or whatever, or closed it? Something like that, you know? Either way, he presumably had an output of like 14 petatons of TNT. And they didn't really give a number for Mickey. But what they said, they compared Mickey to Sora, and they compared Sora to Hercules because Sora beat Hercules and like withstood a fight against Hercules. And Hercules threw that Titan, and Zeus is more powerful than Hercules, and Mickey was doing things that Zeus couldn't. Like that was the big thing with like Zeus moving stars, but he can't beat this monster, but Mickey can, kind of deal, you know? So that's one thing that it seems, if we're basing this off the assumption that through that chain of events we are saying that Mickey is superior to Zeus in terms of strength, right? Then what we're saying is Mickey should have like a sort of comparable output. I mean, I don't know to what extent, that's just me guessing, but if you can move stars. Anyway, and then something I remember from the Yoda part was that they were talking about, oh gosh, the Magna Guards, right? And how they were built to basically have near light speed reflexes, and the Jedi were fighting against them. And then, you know, especially when you consider that Yoda tends to focus on the style where the Force boosts his own physical abilities, you know, he really emphasizes his own, like, physical speed and whatnot. But then there was the part in King Mickey's section where they mentioned Roxas's heart moving faster than the speed of light, you know? And I don't know why they would mention that unless they're trying to say that Mickey is comparable. Why else would they mention that? It didn't seem to connect otherwise. And so, you know, Jedi fighting things that had reflexes near the speed of light, and then Mickey, if we're basing off that assumption, able to move faster than the speed of light, you know? I think the biggest thing that Yoda has going for him is the fact that, you know, he is very powerful and very capable himself, and a lot of that comes through the Force, and the Force is, you know, like ever present around him, basically. You know, he doesn't have to just pull from his own reserves, he pulls from the universe, basically, right? So as long as there's anything, he has access to the Force. Whereas Mickey has to rely on his own, like, inner magic. But yeah, that, you know, like, I'm giving that point to Yoda, but it seems other things lean toward Mickey. I have no idea about the feat of Mickey surviving, like, the Keyblade, like the X, the Greek or whatever letter, Keyblade, explosion. I don't know what his Ultima is capable of. It was like an attack that presumably used like all of his light magic at once or something like that. So like it should be pretty powerful, but I also didn't see like any damage to that tower that he was on, so I don't know. And then, oh, I had like one more thing to mention. Oh, like Stopsa, right? So like not only can he heal himself with his magic through Kiraga, which, you know, like in the Star Wars games I've played, there's also Force Heal, but they didn't mention that at all for Yoda, so I'm assuming they're not going to have him be able to heal himself. So Mickey has that going for him. He has Kiraga. There was also Stopsa, which said that he can stop time for like the duration of an entire fight, you know? I don't see a way that Yoda has around that. And the last time I remember that being in a death battle was, I think, Mewtwo versus Shadow? Was that even a thing? I don't know. Maybe I blocked some memories out, but there seemed to be something. There was something where some character had time stop and they won. And that makes sense, you know, if you can stop time and the other person doesn't have a way to combat that, because there are other instances where you can stop time or freeze time, like in the bloody heck, Oh gosh, there's Akame ga Kill. I don't remember what her name is, but she's from Akame ga Kill. And then the guy from Fairy Tail, the ice people, you know? They were able to like kind of counter each other in that regard, but like not quite. Like she was able to freeze time, but he was kind of able to withstand it, kind of a little bit. But this doesn't seem to be that sort of case. I don't know what Yoda would be able to do to stop that. So this is where I am. I think that Mickey's going to win. I just don't really know why. Exactly. It's just because I don't have the numbers to back it up. You know, I can't like hard say, oh, well, this beats this and this beats this. I can just kind of say, why else would they bring these things up? And, you know, comparisons, you know, speed seems to be higher for Mickey. And then damage, like power, might be higher for Mickey if I'm right about the Mickey, Sora, Hercules, Zeus, Mickey connection, right? So, King Mickey is going to win this one and play. That was a strange prediction. It's just, like, right, am I wrong? There were feats for both of them, but it seems the numbers were really one-sided.
You are a king. You must be.
And to challenge me, you must be a master.
Wait, Yoda, why do you want to fight him? Why are you looking? Oh, they're going for it. All right. Oh, yes, and Yoda could take away the Keyblade with the Force, but then since Mickey can just, like, instantly get it back, I don't think that's too much of a threat. Suddenly angry eyes.
A wealth of power I sense in you.
Yes.
If you say so.
Mickey, you're so casual.
My first duel. This is not.
You could have fooled me.
That was so mean.
Proof you are that size matters not.
That's right.
Right back at you, pal.
I like they're being nice, though. Kind of jokesters back and forth, but yeah. Like, it seems like playful banter, you know? What are you doing?
The path to victory. This is not the Force I must trust.
Okay, why not the Force and a lightsaber, though?
Oh, gosh.
I really don't think those should be an issue with the kinds of enemies that Mickey's been fighting.
You sure are strong. But it's time to end this tussle.
Oh gosh! When did he learn Shadow Clone? I missed that, apparently.
Surrender, you should. The power of the Force you have not.
I can try. All I need is the light.
Huh? Do or do not. There is no try.
That was cool. That's a cool way to bring that in. Now, how powerful is Ultima, you ask? I don't know.
What a shame. What happened?
What happened?
One with the Force, I am.
Fed up, fuzzball.
Yay!
That little green rascal, a troll to the bitter end. I love it.
Yay.
The Grand Master Yoda was one of the most powerful Jedi of all time, but the Force was ultimately no match for the light.
Yoda's gotta be one of the
I hope
best
we-
sword
I
fighters
hope we get
Mickey's
numbers
ever
now.
faced, and definitely gave him a run for his money.
While Jedi have battled foes with near light speed reactions, a Keyblade Guardian like Mickey could move several times faster. In order for Roxas to travel across at least 4 star systems, he'd need to be moving almost 170 million
right, but was that
times
actually
faster than
Roxas?
light.
They've also rubbed
'Cause I thought they
shoulders
just
with
said
guys
Roxas's
like
heart.
Hercules and Zeus, who moved whole stars. There are hundreds of celestial bodies there. The energy needed to move that many is way more than what would be needed to move a black
Yeah,
hole.
okay.
While Yoda
So
doesn't have much of an obvious weakness himself, the problem is neither does King Mickey. At least nothing that Yoda could really take advantage of.
Even if Yoda could figure out that King Mickey had a limited amount of magic energy to cast spells with, there wasn't much Yoda could do before it would start to replenish.
And the Force isn't exactly limitless either. Too much strain has been proven to put a lot of stress on the body and even kill some Jedi in
well,
the
I want to
past.
say the Force is
These two were
limitless,
certainly
but
a match
not
for each
necessarily
other
your
in many
use of it, I
ways,
suppose.
But the King's superior speed, power, and magic meant he had the last laugh. Well, sort of.
Sorry, Yoda, but M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U are dead.
The winner
Nice.
is King Mickey.
Claps for King Mickey. Cool.
Thank you for watching.
You're
Stay
welcome.
tuned. We'll be jumping into the next matchup next week. But you
Nice.
can always get more Death Battle right now by clicking one of those boxes right over there.
Boxes are
and by
empty.
downloading the battle music linked in the description.
Cool. Next time on Death Battle, we have Shadow the Hedgehog with a gun versus... Oh, she's from Kill la Kill. But I don't remember her name. Ryuko. Yuko, okay. Shadow versus Ryuko. Cool. I've never seen Kill la Kill. It was recommended to me by a friend because he said it was like crazy weird, but I've never watched it yet. Shadow versus Ryuko. I wonder what they have in common beyond just like the dark and the red, like the red highlights, you know? Interesting. Yeah, so I don't know what to say about that just because I know really nothing about Ryuko. Shadow I know is like super impressive, especially for pulling from comics. I would assume. But then again, since they make the split between like Sonic and Archie Sonic, maybe they would do the same with like Shadow. Is there an Archie Shadow? Oh gosh, I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about this death battle. So, yeah, I was right. Happy for that. This was a very strange death battle in that regard, where it's like, so like here's the thing, right? I gave the right reasons in my prediction for why King Mickey would win, but it was based on so many assumptions that I'm not used to having to make. Where like I think that part of it was just because again of the death battle format, where it's like we got straight numbers from for Yoda, excuse me, and they seemed like impressive numbers, and then we got nothing for Mickey. We got feats, just not the numbers associated with them. And so it's like, why would you not share the numbers? You know, unless that would give it away. So I still don't understand. Like, I am glad they gave the numbers in the conclusion. Like, first they did confirm basically that, you know, the things that I thought were the reasons Mickey would win were the reasons Mickey won. And I liked the numbers that they gave, like the something octillion or whatever, right? As opposed to like the pentatons, or whatever it was, you know what I mean. But just the star moving feats that Zeus had. But like, I still missed how they're giving those feats to Mickey. I don't know if they said it and it went over my head, or if it was in the little box in the corner, because I know a lot of the boxes were appearing in the conclusion. But I didn't read all of them. The only box that I read a part of was one that was like, theoretically, you know, maybe Force Ghost Yoda could have continued fighting, but, you know, then I didn't see any more than that. So, yeah, like, I don't have complaints about, like, the results or the conclusion. I guess, you know, the biggest thing would just be, I would like a little bit more explanation as to like why necessarily we can confidently say that Mickey can match those feats. Because, you know, those are feats of other characters. And I understand if you don't have a lot to work with for King Mickey himself, like what he himself has done. But, you know, it gets into a bit of, not a gray area necessarily, sort of just like, you know, thin ice sort of thing. It's just weaker when you're taking feats from what someone you think is comparable to that person can do. You know? So I think that'd be my biggest complaint as far as the results and the conclusion go. I would just want a little bit more clarity as to like how necessarily we could say that Mickey was able to do the same things that these other people were, or, you know, more. Beyond just like A beat B and B beat C, therefore D could be A or whatever, right? Like that kind of thing. Yeah. As far as the fight is concerned, I enjoyed this. Like, frankly, I enjoyed this fight more than I enjoyed, Hulk versus Broly, the fight, you know, that fight. And I liked the animation of that fight pretty well. I thought that the sound was lacking. I didn't get the same issue for this fight. I liked the music choice much better. It seemed more fitting, and still seemed to have like that heroic kind of turn at the end, you know? I think for the most part, the sound design was better than like in the previous Death Battle episode, and I thought the animation was more fluid and whatnot, you know? It did seem to move a little quickly, or a little more quickly at least than I had expected, where just kind of like, I guess a lot happened, but then I thought more was going to happen before we reached like the climax, and nope, a lot happened, and then there was a climax, and so I missed this part that I was expecting, but that was just me. You know, they did show a fair amount of things between the two characters. I just wish they could have shown a little bit more. I did, like, you know, sometimes the fights are a little too long, sometimes the fights are a little too short, sometimes they're just right, and I would say this one, like, I could use a little bit more. I'm not going to complain about it being short. I'm just gonna say that I don't think I would have minded if there was a little bit more in this one. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. As for the analysis, I mean, same complaint, I guess, that I have with the results and conclusion, just as far as, I understand why they didn't give the numbers, you know? I've explained all that. But I do wish that they made it a little more clear why they could attribute those feats to Mickey. And, you know, if they did make it abundantly clear to some people, that's fine. But it obviously wasn't abundantly clear to me, and I am a viewer. So, you know, not every viewer is going to have the same experience, but I can only share what I experienced. You know, I can only share what I have in mind. So, yeah. And then in the analysis, of course, there were the jokes about, like, I don't remember his name, but the DBX guy, the contract, Wiz being all insecure about Boomstick having another best friend, even after he was trying to get Boomstick to sign away his life, I thought, or something like that, you know? It was kind of weird. Dummy, you know, I was happy when Dummy was introduced. I'm still enjoying Dummy so far, so that's been cool. But yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say about this death battle, so let me know what you all thought about this death battle in the comments below, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this or that, etc., so on and so forth. Then next time, we will be watching Shadow versus Yuko, so hope you're looking forward to that. But yes, with that, we're calling it here, so have a good one, everybody.